This is an elimination game. This is a bonus bracket game. JohnBloodyThumbs played about 5 hours ago, maybe less. 3 seconds. I'll start the timer as soon as I see them. Culain's not even on the start screen. So I wonder if Johnny snuck in the dot ready. And Culain was still hanging out, grabbing a beer. But Johnny's on the way, and Culain is on the way as well. They're getting out of the North Palace here. See what kind of overworld we have. Nice graveyard section there. Palace to the north on the other side of the river. I don't think I missed tracking an item yet. I think I'm good. Let's throw up the flavor text this time.
No items.
No items so far. We found the back end of Jump Cave here, which is good. I like to track the caves and a town coming up. Good morning to Ruraru at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, I should say. Get a free spell here. What's your meta on the beginning of the game, Link?
I mean, I guess usually I just try to go for like the beginning towns and caves. If I run into Palace 1, sometimes I'll take a gamble. 2 and 3, I'd usually rather not. I mean,
yeah, 2 is iffy. I may look for the item. We got the fire spell in Ruraru. Good morning, Ruraru. That's a good one. JohnBloodyThumbs is gonna follow and get that.
Death Mountain, I'll at least check.
Oh
the
man, we have a
caves that are
virtual
open.
spoon in Bagu's home. Isn't that like not PG-13? I think so. John will go pick up fire. So both players starting with fire. Well, the last game, both players did not have fire.
That's another early meta thing that I think is very person dependent, and that is, unless I run into the back end of Lifetown, I won't even start checking forest tiles.
I will because of P
There are
bags.
a couple that have P bags, but then there's
Yeah.
a bunch of just like Bagu forest areas with useless enemies.
Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50
So
on
it's
that.
kind of a mixed bag. So if we walk out of the beginning and I run into the backside of Lifetown, then I start thinking, well, maybe if I check a forest tile and it's Bagu, I can hop across and find some otherwise inaccessible area and get like an early jump on the competition, right? But
Do we have a sideways raft spot there, or is that a bridge to nowhere? That was very ominous, something like
I gotta think that positioning makes me think raft spot.
that. Yeah, I guess so.
It could just be an off-place bridge, but
No, I would think it's raft because I think an off-place bridge would still be in the water or like leading to like the
Right.
side of a mountain or something.
although that actually can be interesting, right? Because if it's a bridge and not the raft spot, you could actually bridge onto the river and get across there, right?
Yes. If it's a bridge and not a river, you can bridge to a river and get across. I don't know. Could you? Is that it?
'Cause
Takes
that-
you
that-
one. It takes you one tile.
It takes you one tile, because like I know Maze Island, for example, if you
Yes.
run into an encounter tile that takes you onto the rocks, it'll take you onto the rocks and you can cross.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a raft spot anyway. But it's interesting to note. I don't think it will, but we'll throw this possibility out there anyway for the early drama. Will they
It'll be
recognize that as the
interesting.
raft spot?
Well, because like here's a bridge spot, so
Yeah.
it's over an actual river.
All right, he's going to find a town. By the way, we found the back end of Fairy Cave. So we'll see where it leads in a second. And we have found Mito. Can't do anything here but refill your life right now. We don't have the water of life, the medicine, as you want to call it. And we don't have the means to get the downstab. Was that a boulder blocking a cave up there? I think it was, on Johnny's side.
Oh, look, I'm a few seconds behind you, I think. Yep, there was a boulder block there.
Find Palace 2 for Culain. And the party side of Saria. The party end. Grab the mirror. Grab a spell. See what it does. He does have the letter. So he could take the, go through the
You could
business
go
end.
across. That's the thing. If I have fairy and it crosses my mind, or if I've gotten Bagu, that's a thing I like to do. Even if I haven't explored everywhere, I like to cross just in case, you luck out and there's some wonky island of stuff with something crucial
Yes.
that you could get early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it turns out that you cross there and you end up like one screen over on the overworld.
One tile
really,
out of view from where you first entered.
Right. I've played that game before too, but
Yeah, it doesn't look like he...
I feel like it's worth a gamble, because if it works out that way, if you're like one screen away, it basically costs you nothing.
Well, it brought him to the rafts. It brought him to the raft in the grass spot, in any means.
Yeah, there's the grass spot, so that's nice.
Yeah, so Johnny is player 1, and that would be the raft.
So that's a good early find.
Yeah, and Thunder was in the Mirror Town.
That's another thing. If you find that raft, I kind of like to go across the pond early.
Yes, not for me. It's not without trying to find all the caves first. I won't just grab the raft, pick up, and go. I may.
Yeah, if I find it early enough, I'll just pick up and go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a gamble, right? Because sometimes you walk across there and you find some cool items, or sometimes you just walk across there and get your butt kicked by moas all up and down the place.
Yeah, invisible moas and without the downstab. So cross, downstab, and accelerated attack. It's kind of tough.
And sometimes, like, we had a seed not that long ago where it was even maybe a little later. I found a raft. I was like, oh, we'll chance it. We'll go across there. And you go across, and there's like one desert tile, and then your boot blocked. There's nowhere to go. So it's like, well, never mind that gamble.
My one heart container crazy seed before you go over to the other side, it was Darunia, and just like this biggest landlocked gravestone encounters, and that's it. You needed the boots. So there is the raft for Culain. Both players are in the same area, in and out of Saria right now. P2 raft. Thunder for JBT.
That's not bad to find early, because then late you end up saying, well, I don't. That's one less thing I have to go hunting down late in the seed.
Oh yeah,
but if you can't cast it, especially, it kind of is a wash early.
Yeah, well, 89 is going to be 5 and 9/16 magic containers at Magic 1, I think he is. I don't know if he's at Magic 2 yet.
Yeah, 89's a little high.
And we found all the towns, because there is Rudo. We've seen it before while we were talking. And the other town right there is, I think that's the back end of Saria, if I'm not mistaken. That palace where Culain is, I'm not too sure if that was 3 or if that is 1, because we've seen 3 and 2, but we haven't seen either player enter 1. John is in Medicine Cave, and front end of Jump Cave for Culain. Pick up an item here. What are we hoping here? Glove, if you're running?
Definitely glove, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a jar early isn't bad to see necessarily.
Gotta tell you, that Dig Shake guy, he doesn't get enough credit for being a funny dude. Hashtag Go Sweden. We got the kid in Medicine Cave.
The kid's not bad, because you figure that's maybe a lesser chance that you have to go diving, 5 for Death Mountain later.
Yeah, well, the kid won't be in 5 or 4, but certainly, if you have to unlock, well, he can't be a new Kasuto either. If you have to find the boots and the kids in the water tile, for instance, that's like the trickiest situation on the Eastern Continent, or Death Mountain, like you said. I'd always prefer the medicine, the water of life. There's the P-Bag Cave, so we know that one of the caves containing an item is going to be, at least one, is going to be blocked by the boulder, by the hammer. You just got to hold on to that kid for now until you get over to the other side to cash it in.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, the medicine is better in that you can cash it
yeah,
in
so the kid
sooner,
was John got
usually.
him. There we go. Medicine container cave for Culain.
Yeah.
And heart container. It's already done, Christo. I'll be on top of it. Don't worry about it. Enjoy the race. Don't enjoy the streamer marking items. Heart container cave for Culain now, so he gets them back to back here. Hope for something a little bit better than a heart container, like the glove.
Yeah.
Or the boots.
Yeah,
Hammer.
boots is actually a pretty decent find this early.
And there they are.
Especially, I mean, that's another thing, right? Especially if you found the boots and the raft. That's another reason to go across early, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you still run the risk not doing your due diligence of just going over there and in
Right.
search of an item you need.
And you're still without downstab, which
Yeah.
would be tragic in terms of your battle.
Yeah, I think at the
Battle
point in
tactics.
time where if you did have the kid and the trophy and you cashed in the trophy and it was nothing to help you get downstab, then go east. Try to find the spells over there to help you. That was a cave being blocked by a boulder in front of a swamp encounter. I don't know if that was a different one than the one we saw before. There may be two blocked by boulders right now. Actually, it can only be one. My bad. So it is, in fact, Trophy Cave. Again, for the third race in a row that I did that's blocked by a boulder.
We did find the other side of Death Mountain over on
Yeah.
Culain. Just one cave on it, and that's actually an interesting to me because I ran into that not that long ago where the two sides of Death Mountain did not connect, and one side had both the rock and the hammer cave, and the other side had a vast time sink.
Culain takes a little ride over to the eastern
it
continent.
was the raft spot, as
Yeah.
we suspected.
And he just says, you know what? I saw a town up and over.
Yeah, no, he should go back.
Yeah. I don't know if he
Oh.
can get there, though, if you can walk around with the boots, but
yeah,
there was
it
definitely
looked
a
like
town.
you could have walked around.
Yeah. We're in Palace 1 now with JohnBloodyThumbs. He can walk around, and there's a town right for him. He does have stuff.
Yeah, he's going back.
He has the boots. No, John has the boots.
Yep.
Who got the boots? Culain got the boots. All right, there's the
Culain
message
got the
right there.
boots.
There's the autocorrect that comes every single time. I get crossed up on this P1, P2 stuff when I'm scrolling. I'm
Yeah.
scrolling down the list and I just see boots. You've done this
understand.
before, so you've seen the list. I
Yeah,
scroll
did
down.
Did it a couple times.
Yeah,
and
you see boots,
No,
and you're like-
it's surprisingly hard to keep up, honestly.
Yeah, you see the
There
boots
was
and like I'll just
a
mark it.
desert spot there that he didn't check, and normally if I go right over, I'm checking desert spots.
Yeah, there is one item, by the way, on the Eastern Continent. So we didn't explain the Western Continent too well, but on the Eastern Continent, you'll find 4 towns. 3 of them will have spells that are pretty much free. One of them, you got to do a little bit of digging inside the town, but not much. And then the other spell is going to be blocked by the need for the kid. And we already found the kid in the medicine cave. So basically, Culain right now... Actually, no, Culain can only get 3 of the spells. It's John that has the kid. What was the town that was right there? Did he go into it?
Yeah, it was. I
Darunia?
forget the names. It was Reflect Town,
Okay, so it was the kid town, so that's why he got out of there really quick.
but he doesn't. Yeah, he didn't have the kid.
And what was that?
Kasuto though.
Yeah, what was that the magic container requirement? Because I was looking at where John was.
Oh,
in
7.
7? Oh, of course, 7.
Yeah,
Always
so
7.
that's a deep.
Let me get a little.
Yeah, so
Little
if
spell.
that's a glove, then we're gonna be into deep exploration.
And he's got the life spell, so P2 life. Life in New Kasudo. No spell, so you can't get either of the item here.
That's a good find early like this.
I think so.
Especially like here, you've just walked into the east, where you can really have some big MOA problems. So having at least one life cast can kind of extend that exploration. The other thing is finding a palace, right? If you find a palace, sometimes you can get knocked around, lose a life or two, and then, you know, refill if you find a palace.
Yeah, he's going to check that desert spot now, and it's going to be a small item spot. Anything from a pea bag to a link up to a red jar. Horsehead fight for JBT, everybody. I do not drink Dig Shake, but after that that crazy thing we just did before this race, I some tall cans are in my future. Make them Swedish though, because go to Sweden.
Swedish. That would be actually an interesting question for Ness Martin, is how the craft brew scene is in Sweden.
I'm more interested in his take on American politics, because it gets funnier every time I ask. So John makes some I don't know, glue out of Horsehead. He's gonna place the gem. Okay, we can mark that. 380. 380 may not be attack 3. I guess it is attack 3. No, it's not. It's life 4. He's gonna take it. He's gonna go 2, 3, 4 out of 1.
2, 3, 4. That's I like to, you know, I probably did a little more running of like 100% all keys from like last year's tournament than maybe some of the newcomers to the randomizer. So I kind of feel like I need to prioritize attack, and I know like King Doll especially goes out of his way even to like get his attack levels.
He didn't really do that in today's race against.
No, he didn't so much.
No.
But yeah, usually a lot of times when I see him, he's very careful about his leveling.
Yeah,
strats.
but John definitely, and John's going to find a magic container cave here and pick up a heart container. And he's pretty much right around the block from the boots in heart container cave. So there's his heart container.
Yeah, so that'll really even things up.
Yeah.
Or even put him ahead a little bit maybe.
JohnBloodyThumbs is a little bit like Jack and Miss Wedge, where he just takes levels as he gets them, and I'm going to steal that right from Jack saying it this afternoon. And you know, he'll just, if he, you know, he's not going to go back and grind to get attack 3. He's going to just take the life 4 and move on. Got a death in Tim Toolman Taylor's backyard there. Hi-ho.
Yeah, the old fence encounter.
Yeah, I like this encounter too. I don't see enough people casting Thunder in this encounter for me. Boots there for John.
I never seem to think of casting Thunder. Even if it's cheap, it just never crosses my mind, even if I have it.
Yeah. And whenever I do, it's like I get the Lizalfos that are like 20 XP instead of the ones that are 100.
Took some big damage from that Blue Stalfos, and he's just going to check out of there and try a different path.
Yeah. Now maybe he tried, and maybe he's blocked by a mountain or something, but I didn't see him going dead right looking for Maze Island. But this is a good find right there. Magic key in the desert tile.
See, and that's the one he passed this tile on his way in.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there's Darunia right there.
Didn't even check it, yeah.
Yeah.
And now it was the tile. So.
Yeah. John's going to go over to the east now. He's going to go up. He's going to find Darunia. He has the kid, so we're going to find out what this spell is.
Yeah.
A little tension here. A little quiet time. Build the suspense. I guess it doesn't work if I'm talking. It is 1:20 a.m.
Yeah, well, I get a couple hours on you, so it's not so bad.
So we delivered a kid in before the spell. We have in chat, Jackamus. Shield. And that's one of the ones
And
I
that's
can
still
mark.
a decent find, especially as you walk into the East Continent. You can, maybe tank some of those blue Listalfos.
Yeah, and I always miss when I'm doing this, when I'm broadcasting. I always miss what the costs for everything are because it goes up so quick. By the time it goes up,
It's,
I'm already
yeah,
marking
fast.
it, looking down, writing. I'm taking great
Right.
notes.
And that's
And
probably actually one thing I could do better on when I'm actually running is paying attention to the amounts.
yeah,
I usually only pay attention when I actually need it. Like I walk into Palace 4 and I'm like, wait, how much was Reflect again?
yeah, exactly.
And can I even cast it?
We saw John pick up the magic key in the desert encounter and pick up the 500-point P bag there. Love the Eastern Continent for its P bags.
Yeah, that can actually be pretty helpful.
Yeah, he's gonna go
There
back
can
into.
also be some especially grass tiles with the Listalfos and the floor. Sometimes you can get, you know, 300-point Listalfos with
Yeah.
a couple of them in an encounter. So
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
actually just burn through a couple levels pretty quickly. And another good thing early, which we didn't see in this seed. Oh, I see a hammer there
Yeah,
from
hammer
Culain,
for
so
Culain.
that's a nice find. Especially if later we find that something's buried in Death Mountain.
I just really think that glove and go right now is his motto.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, spell prohibited, but if I get the glove in the second item in Maze Island, I am just going to up A and I'm going to go to Palace 1, Palace 2, Palace 3. And then come back and do some things. Because Culain has not found Nubaru or the abandoned town of Kasuto. So there's 2 free spells there left for him. Here's the second item on Maze Island. And it's the normal kid spot, so he's got to walk a little bit. Probably Medicine of Life, Water of Life. It's a heart container. So the Water of Life is going to be on the water tile.
yeah.
I believe that's what happens there. So heart container there, because it cannot be in New Casuto and it cannot be on the Eastern Continent in Death Mountain.
Yeah, it's
So
the only overworld spot left.
yeah, so the medicine is in the water, but both players have the boots, so it's not that big of a deal. John's on his way to get life here.
Yeah. Culain has gone back to the west.
Yes, he's going to. No, he's in Nubaru. That fooled me too. Earlier race, I thought he went in Ruraru, and it was actually
Oh,
Nubaru.
I see.
Yeah,
That is, you're right.
and spell. So we do have thunder. I was going to say we have nothing that
Yeah, we picked up thunder early.
Yeah. So of now, 66% chance that reflect is blocked by an item. We know the medicine is going to be on the water tile, and the trophy is going to be in Death Mountain. But we still have the abandoned town of Kasuto to find, and hope that it bails him out. Be nice.
It's like Culain's actually exiting to the left here, when it's actually shorter to exit to the right.
Yeah. I get confused by those sometimes. I just kind of pick a direction and go, and by the time I realize it, I'm like, well, I already took a few steps, so...
That's the only one where you exit to the right.
John finds Palace 6.
Although that assumes that you're doing things in the right order, and in Randomizer you may end up in a situation where you walk into Reflect Town, you go cash in the kid and find Jump or Fairy, and then you backtrack for the upstab.
Yeah, I lost my race to Culain, pretty much because I was we had some crazy seed where like Mito was on this northern continent that you could only reach from the boots, and the boots were like, you know, so far through a puzzle blocked that as soon as I found, like, out of like hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes of frustration, as soon as I found the hammer, I up-A'd. And I didn't go through the towns to get all the spells that were right there on the other side of the desert tile, I think, was where I found the hammer. So I got the hammer, I went back to the other continent, the western continent, I opened all the things. Of course, nothing was in there that I needed, and I had to come back and go through all those towns as well, so...
Yeah, I think I watched that one.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think you called... No, I think you called it, didn't you?
Did I call it? I think I might have called it.
You and Ness Martin,
So
I
right.
think, called it, yeah. So western continent here for Culain. Hammers the boulder, comes back up to this area. Most likely going to Trophy Cave first. See if it's not the trophy.
Yeah, that'll be an easier grab.
Yeah, I didn't see him pick up the medicine life, but he's going to dip into Death Mountain here. I'm going to take a little bit here to watch him.
I mean, if you don't know where the Hammer Block Cave is and you just happen upon Death Mountain, I don't think it's a bad choice with what you have left. I mean, since you've already decided to go west again.
Yeah. Kid was in Medicine Cave. DH. Remember the magic word. Spell. We knew that already. I was waiting on it to mark it. So there's the... Hold on. Okay, there he goes. I was going to say, he just found Spectacle Rock and he just dipped into the cave. And there's a nice little find right there, a trophy. He's going to go through, though. He's not going to up-A, cash it in. Still looking for that glove. Plenty of places where that glove can be, but we all know it's going to be in Palace 5.
I'd at least look through the caves in this area that you can see.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that you can walk on with the boots. If it's not in any of those, I'd consider leaving.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. Johnny's on Maze Island. He's gonna find the hammer here. Or is this the heart container? I think this is the heart container. Did he find the hammer already? I didn't see his start screen.
The hammer was on Maze Island too, I think.
Yeah. Like every time he pauses, I look for the hammer, and I kind of miss it. But there's the heart container.
Not yet.
Guys, did he pick up the hammer?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
Nope. No, I just saw his pause screen.
Okay, good. I don't know what happens when these runners pause when I'm watching it on multi-Twitch. I don't see anything. Probably because I'm not looking at the screen until they pause it, and then by that time they're already done with the screen.
Right. Yeah, it can be hard to see. But I'm also a few seconds behind you, so by the time you say, I didn't see it, I look at the screen,
there you go.
And then there it like pops up.
It's perfect. I mean, if there was a way to put all this stuff on the HUD, Dig Shake, might be able
Shameless
to do
plug for your
buy you a beer if you do that.
Pet features.
Yeah, I'll buy him a beer if he does it. That's all. That's how you get stuff done in the Zelda 2 randomizer. Everything's done over a bribe of beer. So he gets a red jar on 5 Tile Island. It's not the Hammer Cave. So he'll look. Boots are awesome in Death Mountain. Boots are awesome in Maze Island. Just to be able to walk around everything.
That's another reason I feel like I like going to the East Continent early, is because sometimes you end up with just a few more places to check. Maybe your odds of finding some boots go up.
Yeah,
and then if you end up having to come back to Death Mountain, then the boots are really nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't have game audio on, but I don't know which guy. I didn't ask which guy's not doing mic, so we'll put on Culain for a while. I don't have my my Final Fantasy XI music ready for the Zelda 2 randomizer race today.
Yeah.
It's soothing, and it's different. Still looking for that Hammer Cave, still looking for that second item on Maze Island. It was the first one that Culain found, and we have the Hammer Cave. I just didn't see what area it was in. Looked like it was an area with a couple different options.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of options, but it's way southeast.
Was it on the coast, or was it southeast with no way to get over there from the coast?
No, it's from the coast.
Okay.
It came in from the coast. But It's possible there are enough caves there that probably you could have come through the other way.
Yeah, if this is the glove, watch out. Game's wide open for Culain.
Yeah.
I still want to call him Culain.
Hey,
I'll ask him later. Alright, I think John finally found it. There it is, the hammer. I forgot where it's marked. There it is. P1 hammer. My back itch is so bad. I didn't mark the trophy for Culain though. P2 trophy. Medicine container. So once again, we know, because we've watched races before, that the glove is in 5, but these runners don't know that. They're just going to be hopeful that it's not in 5. Medicine container. And we don't really know that. What's that?
Couldn't it be in 4?
Oh, it could be 1 in 1 and 2 also, or
What?
Kasuto.
2. I did. John get the item in 1?
No, he was key blocked, I believe. I'll be corrected in a second, I'm sure, if I'm wrong.
I thought he got the item.
I thought he went in there and he was key blocked and he came back out. What does he have? He has 2 heart containers, no magic containers. Heart container, heart container. Yeah.
Also, did we get both things out of Kasuto? Or
No,
just...
because it's 7 heart,
no,
7.
Seven magic containers.
Yeah, we got the
So it's
spell.
still possible that that's the glove, right?
Yeah. Well, we know the water tile that did not get and find yet is the medicine, the water of life. We have the 2 items in Kasuto. We have Palace 1, Palace 2, Palace 4, Palace 5, and the trophy cave.
Yeah. So we still have some things to check.
Yeah. Water tile has to be water of life.
Yeah, we've not actually seen it yet, but we've narrowed that one down.
No, and well, now John picked up the hammer, and he's on I believe he's on the Western Continent again. Neither player has made that that line to that hammer, the boulder block cave. And I hate when that happens, because I have this incessant need to know what's in there. Water in the water tile. Good job, Dig. Not random enough, Dig Shake. Do something about that. Ogres in the what room? That sounds like Second Life. Oh, I think I read that wrong. I'm sorry. Alright, John's ducking in. He's gonna go the wrong way.
Not sure what he's actually looking for.
Yeah, he's actually still on the Eastern Continent. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just from
yeah, because there were floor Stalfos.
Yeah, from the overworld that I saw, it looked like it was like a Western
trying
Continent.
to get a level. Maybe that's what he's.
Maybe there's another P bag, 200. Easy XP. There it is. Here we go. Culain's gonna find it. Trophy cave. Here, look what we find here. 2 things I needed to know. What was in the hidden town of Kasuto and what was in Trophy Cave. But Culain takes it. There we go. Reflect in Old Kasuto there. So P1 reflect.
Okay.
So trophy, water of life.
Not required.
Not required. I did mark that right.
Unless do they have?
What was the item in Trophy Cave? I looked up.
It is a magic container.
Okay, thank you.
Have either of them gotten fairy yet?
No, it's fairy.
So
Fairies.
that's the other sticky spot, right? Is if they find themselves fairy blocked, right?
Yes.
You can get fairy blocked in 6 and in Great Palace.
With the trophy behind Spectacle Rock, I guess the medicine life is easier to get, but you got to come back to this continent first. I don't know what John's going to do about not having the glove and Death Mountain.
It's like Culain's grinding a red iron knuckle on 3.
We know from the first race today that magic containers should not be taken for granted. We found very little of them, And I think Thunder costs like 67 magic at like magic 6. And both players had 4.
Part of the end of that, and it was like, yep, nobody finds magic containers.
Yeah. It was kind of sick to see them find everything else but magic containers for a while. Got a little grind going on here on John's side? Or is he just taking a lot of encounters and fighting everything in between? I guess he's just taking encounters and fighting everything in between.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of encounters.
Gonna go in 1 for Culain. He was in 3 grinding that nut knuckle. But now we're gonna get into it for 1. He's down 1 gem to none right now. It was a very early gem. I feel like it was over 20 minutes ago that it was placed.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Yeah. No down stab. We don't have, because we don't have jump.
I'm sure he'd like to see a glove here, but
yeah. It's so odd. No jump or no fairy were the two spells we have not found yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's it makes you a little hesitant to go into palaces because you don't have that down stab.
Magic container for John in the trophy cave. So the Western Continent is done and complete. It's totally complete for Culain, but if we include Death Mountain, John has both those spots left. Ryan in chat has requested the pink background, so we'll throw that up for a little while.
I have the pink background for the pink palace.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Agen spent some time making this. We got to make use of it.
That's what I say on the tunic randomized. I say pink link for the win.
There you go. I like when people get a bad color and they're like, hold on, I have to hold this race up. I got to do it again.
Purple and blue.
Alright, we'll take the pink off because it is nauseating.
Actually, I think one of my favorite features about the color change is the tunic color is like the same palette color they use for the skull bubble flashing.
Oh, is that right?
So you'll notice if you get like a dark blue tunic, if you watch the skull bubbles, you'll see that their flashing color is much darker than you're used to.
Nice.
Yeah, which you would not even think about, but it's hilarious.
Ryan absolutely did request that, so send your hate mail towards him, please.
I see a like in the chat. So.
Yeah. I read it exactly the way it was meant to be read. We're turning in the trophy here? No, we're not.
No.
Oh, he's going to get fire. Oh, no. Where is he going to get? Was that Ruraru? Yeah, that was Ruraru. That confused me. And he already has the fire spell from Ruraru. 20 XP dog heads, polar bears. Because they're always 20 XP if I'm not playing, but I'm watching. They're only 2 XP if I'm playing.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because a lot of times I don't think about small enemies when I'm trying to grind.
Yeah.
But it has saved me before. I've had like the skull heads. I've been like 100 short and then walked into a place and I'm like, gosh, the dog heads are only 5, and then the same room has skull heads that are like 20. Like, oh well, I can kill like 6 of these.
We had 2 interesting things going on right there. John went into Mito and then went to queue up fairy or jump to get down stab and then realized he didn't have either of them. While Culain is right here in Palace 1 without fairy and without a key in the item room. Oh, he does have a key.
He's got the any key, yeah.
Oh, that's right. He has the any key. My bad. That's I'm dumb when it comes to that because I'm so. It's Culain. Of course, he has the any key.
They both got it pretty early. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, of course he has the any key
here, which he'll not be excited about because there was a way around it. I think.
I have an issue, and I do this in Zelda 1 randomizer as well. Is once I get an item, I like block it from my memory. And it takes me a while to realize that I'm an idiot for not using it, to remember that I have it to use. So He did pause.
Yeah.
Like what threw me off there is he entered that room and paused right away, and it looked like he was looking at keys and he was looking for the fairy spell, and then he moved on. But there you go.
John's gone back through Jump Cave. That's interesting.
Yes. I mean he doesn't even have the trophy. I don't know what he's looking for because he's looking at his Palace 3. He already completed Palace 1. He might not have found Death Mountain. Has he found Death Mountain?
They were both in there at least once.
Okay. Maybe he doesn't remember where it is, because he's got everything on this side. And Culain doesn't. Culain never picked up the kid in Medicine Cave, I believe. Is that true?
I think that's true.
Yeah, it looks like it's true.
I don't think he found the kid because he checked out of Reflect Town because he didn't have the kid, and I don't think he's been back.
No. So John's going to go over the east over here. DH brings up a good point. Somebody negated that point to me one time, but I definitely have that issue. When you play too many seeds in a row, or too many seeds in the same day, sometimes you start to bleed information over.
Yeah, the seeds bleed together.
Yeah, what you've seen, what you haven't seen.
Especially stuff that you don't do as good a job necessarily at marking, like where towns are, right? You have a seed where, New Kasuto is in the northwest, and then you have one where it's in the southeast, and you don't remember. You go, oh gosh, I got another magic container I can go get. Where was that town again?
Oh, I was sure it was down here by Maze Island, and like you'd never found it yet.
Yeah.
So what could John be looking for over here? Well, the only thing he hasn't found is he hasn't found New Kasuto, I believe. He did find New Kasuto. Okay, I marked it on the HUD, but I didn't mark it on my paper. He's found all the spells on this side. He picked up every single one of them.
Maybe he's looking for 5 to dive into.
If you can look, see what spell costs for him at Magic 4.
That's a good question. Yeah.
We're gonna turn it into trophy. See what we get. 50-50 jump fairy, and it's fairy. So trophy for fairy. Trophy is in the Spectacle Rock.
I imagine he'll be heading straight for downstab, or at least I would.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This many items in, I think.
Yeah. That water tile. Where is that water tile? Because we've seen all 4. I don't know if have we seen 5? Because I've seen 6, and we've seen Maze Island.
I remember seeing 5.
We may have seen 5, and nobody went in
Spell
there.
was 65 at Magic 3, so I gotta imagine John could. I don't know. It's still 65 at Magic 4, but he's got a container, so yeah, he can cast.
He can cast it. Okay. So that's one of the options. Remember, we can also find the glove in Palace 2, Palace 4, Palace 5. It could be locked behind 7 magic containers. Imagine that.
Right.
But it cannot be in Death Mountain, and it cannot be in the water tile, because the water tile is, by process of elimination, the water of life / medicine.
Right.
So only 5 more places it can be. 3 palaces and the New Kasuto. Can anyone come up with a nightmare situation here? I mean, 7 magic containers is probably
for glove.
For glove, sure. That's probably the worst we can get right now, since we've got every other item that would block anything.
You could stack the fairy requirement.
Yes. So you can trophy for the fairy, for a magic container, for the 7th magic container, for a glove. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Culain going back over to east. He's gonna go to Druny and get the upstab.
He did pick up fairy, right?
Culain picked up fairy, yes, but he went in Darunia, and he's not gonna go do his due diligence and get the upstab. He got downstab, right? I don't see him using it.
No, I don't think he got downstab.
2 more heart containers. So, well, 5 is going to be the gloves, so we don't even have to speculate.
Maybe he wants to find the water tile before he goes back, and then up A and go back and get your down stat.
That is a possibility. He has found everything else. Both players have found everything else where the medicine water of life could be. But
I think early he came in and he went to the fence encounter and got wrecked by a Boo Stalfos, and I don't think he went back down there since he's been back. So I gotta assume the water tile's gotta be down there somewhere. But
well, we're gonna get
in Nukasudo with spells, so
gonna get one of our answers here. I'll try to delay the announcement so you can drink it in with me. Lame.
Oof.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Candle bag.
Yeah, that was not what he was looking for.
No, not at all. Looks like the flute's required here. If you look at the overworld from John's point of view, or you can just walk around them.
You can walk around it.
No, it was a little joke for somebody who's not in chat right now, who spent 35 minutes looking for the flute when the River Devil was in a 2-tile wide road.
Oh, and you could walk around.
Or not 2-tile wide road, but like there was another piece of terrain like any other strip.
Right.
And you just didn't even realize it. And you get tunnel vision sometimes. Like, that's probably why the best players are the best, because it doesn't happen to them, but us casuals, not you included, just me and anybody else who's a casual.
Right, well, I've had plenty of those. But then I've also had seeds like last night we did one that was really smooth sailing for me.
I'm looking for one of those. So there's 6 again. How much is the nut knuckle worth? 200. He might finish off this level. Oh, he doesn't. He's like pennies from it right now. You just get it on the way, I guess. I don't know what that would bring him to. He might skip that as well, but 1,600 is a lot to then give away with an up A. Got some more navigation here. All right, so what is your thought here? You need the glove. You found all the things the runner has found. What are you most likely to do right now? Water tile?
Well, I think especially if you've seen like a place where you were blocked by a fence encounter and you haven't explored.
Yeah.
I'd go explore looking for the water tile.
Mm-hmm.
But if I found 5 looking for the water tile, I might try it.
I think I would go into 2. Because there are plenty of times...
2's smaller. I mean, it's a better choice. But if you're over on the East Continent already...
Yeah.
And you find 5, you could say, oh, well, I could do 2 and it's shorter. But if you're at 5, I kind of like jumping into 5. Because part of it is because I can, I feel like a low-level Guma is totally doable for me.
Yeah.
So if I'm there with attack 4, then I can just say, well, let's go diving in and hope we get lucky and it's a short palace and I can take care of Guma at a low level and it's fine.
Based on my experience and watching from the outside and watching my friends play and stuff like that, I think a little bit too much, like Palace 2 gets excluded too much when you don't have the glove. And sometimes the glove is just in Palace 2. So I think instead of maybe water tile and then Palace 2.
Palace 2. Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling sometimes like I don't want to go into Palace 2 because you could be glove blocked, but it's worth a gamble sometimes because the glove could be in there.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in there and you're taking that gamble and it's not a right or wrong thing, it's the beauty of the randomizer, then you're just essentially wasting your time the whole time. And if your opponent made that choice to go into 2, and then, look how much further he's going to be. If, John dove into 2 right after he did 1, And we see he found Spectacle Rock. If he dove into 2 right after he did 1 and happened upon the glove, how much further along would he be right now instead of being in this state of flux or whatever you want to call it?
Right. Well, and yeah, Culain's going straight back to the east. At this point, after getting whacked in that fence encounter again, I'd be going down stab, straight down stab.
Yeah. He is going to pick up shield, though. So is he going to get... Did he get up stab? I'm sorry, I blinked.
No. No, he...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, he's in the wrong town. Yeah.
It. Yeah, no, this is...
That was reflect, not shield.
Judo.
That was reflect. Okay, there we go. What are we doing here on John's screen? Oh, we got the trophy, so he's going to cash it in, and he's going to pick up the fairy spell. So I say, was he back?
He's not going to feel bad about fairy.
No, but looking at his spell book, it was only going to be fairy or jump.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he'll like that because he can get down stab.
Yeah, there was going to be no disappointment either way, I think, for him.
Right. Fairy is probably preferred to jump, a little more utility.
Culain is in a dungeon. And it is... I don't know what... the pillars tell me it's 4. Alright, and Reflect tells me it's 4 as well. So, early Carrick fight. It was just basically go down the elevator, go right.
Yeah, down and right.
Now here's a dramatic moment here. If the gloves are in 4 and Culain beats Carrick this fast and decides just to place the gem...
So that's the question.
He's gonna go.
Even placing the gem, do you dive back in or not?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to finish the thought and say, do you place the gem and just leave? Do we treat it like Dungeon 7 in Legend of Zelda?
He's not even going to place the gem. He's going to dive and hope he can get his levels.
Yeah, 2 for 1 right here. Get the item and get your attack 6 at the same time.
I don't mind this play, really.
No, I mean, it has an equal chance to be the glove than anything else at this point.
My big issue with this play is he should have gotten down stab before he went and did this.
Okay.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
For exactly that reason. Because he just got whacked by a blue iron knuckle that he could have jackhammered through.
Yes, and speaking of the down stab, JohnBloodyThumbs gets the down stab. Dead end there for Culain. He'll reset, go back a different way. Item in 4 is to the right. So he needs to find another way to go right. John is in 2 now? He's in 2 now. So we'll see. I mean, this is exactly what I think I would have done. Now that you got down stab, just do 2 and 3 if you can. If you're glove blocked, you leave.
For sure do 2. I think I'd go to 4 or 5 before I went to 3.
Probably a better play. But at this point...
Culain's going to stick to 4, though.
Why not? You're there.
I know he's had some nasty.
Yeah, he's gonna walk
so
out.
He's just gonna place the gem.
Yeah. Just place the gem. Wow.
Cut his losses.
It's his second gem placed. He's not going to take the XP, but he's going to go back in. So he's going to start with a 770. No, he's not. He's leaving. So big moment there. The gloves were in 4.
Right. And, this is the sort of thing I've done in seeds before. I've had seeds where we get into heavy percent exploration, and I've gotten lost in Death Mountain and finally said, screw it, I'm out. And then later figured out I had to come back, and the glove was in Death Mountain. And I was like, God, I should have stayed. But that's too hard. That's hard to know.
Well, that's why if I'm in a certain mindset, I'm going for it. I'm not going to stop, turn around, and be like, well, you know what? If I just went through with it and found out that that was the right play, then I would have been better off for it. It's like, all right, I'll make the mistake now. Like, I'll find the cross if I have to, but I just don't want to turn around and have it be the glove and spend all that time looking for it somewhere else.
Culain's gonna do 5.
Yeah, why not? Listen.
And again, I like this play, other than the fact that he could go get downstab.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I do see runners tend not to go back to Mito unless they have both a means to get downstab and the Water of Life. But listen, I'm going every single time I have ability to get the downstab.
It's hard to make that call. I mean, I'll put it off if I get, if I find, I walk onto the east and I find Old Gasudo and I get Fairy. I'll walk around and say, okay, to tell you what, I will search and maybe try to find the desert tile, maybe Maze Island, and then if I get, stomped on by MOAs and game over, then it's like, all right, well, that's a sign that we should go get downstab right now.
Yeah, and let's also bring up the fact that until recently, nobody had either jump or fairy, as John finds the item room too. And the item room was blocked by an area where you needed jump or fairy. And it's the cross. So, screw all that. My play was wrong. Your play's still alive, though. That's why you're still alive in the race, and I'm not in the tournament. Cross in 2.
Cross in 2. So, yeah, he's not going to be excited about that find.
But the cross was jump fairy blocked.
Technically, that's not true. You can get up there without jump or fairy.
Can you really? Okay, it's really hard.
I did it. I did it in a seed one time, and then immediately died. A game over it on some stupid bot or something, and it turned out not to even be useful. But you can actually, because that's like a regular 3-tile jump or whatever, you can actually make it up there without jump or fairy.
Well, that's the same kind of situation you have with that one fairy room in the Great Palace, where you got to make that nice little jump onto the bridge and just keep then go up to the next side. Except that's, I think, a 2-tile jump back the other direction, and this is a continuous 3-tile jump, right?
Yeah, it's 1 tile apart,
Yeah.
3-tile jumps.
If you ever see me try to get up one of those rooms with the elevator, and you have to, the room drops and you have the elevator down there, but then you have the 3-tile jump up, and then that big gap you have to jump across. I believe they're in 5 and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you ever see me do that, and there's
I'm
no
not
way
sure
I'm doing the other one.
Specifically watch you. Yeah, it's basically 2 of those in a row. Only
Yeah.
you only get 1 shot because it's a breaking bridge, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I hit it one time, and I wasn't even expecting to make it because I was on my last life, about to die.
Unreal.
But it is actually possible.
John's in 1, looking for the item room. He's going to find the flute. For those who have just joined us and did not know where these items are. We're approaching an hour here, and we're still on the hunt for the glove. So let me recap to tell you guys where we are and what we have found. Notable items only. We found all the items in the Western continent. The boots were in the Heart Container Cave. The kid was in the Medicine Cave. The raft was on the grass spot. The trophy was in Spectacle Rock and Death Mountain. On the Eastern continent, the hammer was in Maze Island. The magic key was on the desert tile. The Water of Life is on the water tile, but neither runner has found the water tile yet. Water of Life is going to get them to jump spell, so it's not really that big of a deal. We found the item in Kasudo that's hidden behind a spell. It was the candle bag. Flute was in 1, cross was in 2, and that's all we have. We know where all the spells are. Each runner has 6 spells. No, John has all 7 spells besides the jump spell. Like I said, he needs the Water of Life. Culain has everything but Shield and Darunia and the Water of Life, because he never found the kid in the Medicine Cave.
You're all on your lonesome.
Wayne finds a jar, but that means he can get into New Kasuto and find that other item.
Yes, it does.
He goes right for it, or if he decides to check too.
Magic container in 5.
Yes and no. So I'm not actually streaming, but there's like a race, and I just jumped into the Discord on commentary.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like watching a race, and my audio is going to somebody else that's streaming.
I was gonna say, because you're not blue.
No, I'm not blue. So I'm not actually streaming. But the
Yeah.
guy is. I just muted
Flute
Like
for
the-
JohnBloodyThumbs.
She was passed out on top of me.
Okay.
John's not really showing it, but John's probably not really happy right now. He took 2 chances there to go take the item, saying, "What if I missed the glove?" And not there. We know the glove cannot be in 3. Glove is either in behind 7 magic containers right now, or it's in 4. And Culain was in 4, and he got right back out. So
Yeah, from chat, you can actually damage boost your way up the rock and jump cave.
Tass did it.
Yeah, the task does it.
Hey, Eric, you want me a
I don't know how RTA viable that is, because you basically have to RNG the bats into place. So it'd be pretty ugly, I think. But
Well, John's in 3. He's at Rebenek.
chat's saying it's not that hard, so definitely you and I can do it, Larry.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, damage boost your way up the jump cave.
Yeah.
Jump.
He's dead.
So John did 3. I don't think he did. He didn't do helmet head, did he?
Dogfish.
I don't think he did helmet head. I think he got out of there as soon as he found the item. But he's gonna place the gem in 3 here. It's gonna be a second gem. He's gonna take magic. He's gonna take it as it comes, just like he did before. 4-5-5, no big deal for him.
Yeah, sorry.
So Culain going through 5.
Farther than that these days, closely.
Looking for Guma. I guess at this point, might as well progress a little bit. Seen 5? I think he's still in 5. John is in the east now again. So what would John be doing? I think John might just go to 4. He's gonna go to 5. So he's in 5, and he's gonna stumble upon the magic container at some point in time.
Who chooses a chick over a friend? Live Kelso, come on. Remember when you made me walk home?
We're watching that 70s show?
No, but
Yep,
I didn't
that 70s
steal
show.
Aunt Macy from you. And you could have played in the snow until we were done.
Looking for Guma. And the item on John's side, we know the glove's not here.
Jackie wanted to get married, so you
So.
bailed. So she found someone else, and now
We'll
she's
see what happens.
This solves your problem. Albeit with an
Get the
unpleasant
red jar, get a little fill up here. Get a little thing. It's nice to have a little bit of and he does find Guma. It's nice to have with no shield. It's nice to have a little bit of progression after a period of inactivity, let's say, or disappointment. So, wreck Guma's face, place a gem, get another attack level, and it's one less thing you have to do once you find the gloves. You're here anyway. You're not going to be blocked by the glove. So we'll look for it. Cast life, a couple more hits here, and he takes him down. So he should be able to get attack 6 out of this. I don't know exactly what it costs. I don't think that's the cost for... Yeah, that's 830 is the cost for life 5. Takes attack 6, and he's going to take magic 4 at the same time, I believe. Or he might keep it and go for life 5. I think I would just take 4. He's gonna keep it. Okay. So P2, P5. There you go.
What am I supposed to do? He broke the code. He's wrong. You know what?
John continues to search.
You're right.
And what would Culain do here? He's got 7 magic containers, so that's probably the play.
I think new casino, yeah.
Yeah. It's either that or 4. And he's already been in 4 and is already up 8 out of 4 in pursuit of the item. So 50-50.
Let's start with what I have on my phone.
Yeah, at this point, it seems like the race could swing pretty heavily one way or the other, based on a glove grab.
Yeah, absolutely. Because John's in 5. He's gonna find the magic container, like we said before, and he's gonna probably try to fight Guma. So, in that time, if Culain finds the glove, up A's and does 2 and 3.
Because we're having another baby. And to do that, I have
Probably not going to take the same amount of time, but
won't turn out a smartass.
he'll certainly get a little headway with the glove while John scratches his head and tries to figure it out. Because John only has 5 magic containers. He's going to have 6 here once he looks for this item. So then he's going to have to go to Death Mountain to pick up the 7th, or I don't know. It might be in 3 or 6. The other one, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So one's has not been found. So it's in either 3 or 6 or 4, or behind 7 magic containers. We still don't know.
Your grandparents up from the airport. I'm going to tell them that I'm pregnant.
Aiden from Phoenix at 5. Yeah, I was hoping when they moved to Arizona they'd get lost in the desert. What's wrong with Mrs. Forrest's parents?
Nothing. They're just very,
He's going to get downstab.
very complicated people who can't be summed up in a couple of words.
Grandma yells, grandfather yells. Pretty much.
So what is he thinking here? He's going to grab downstab? You think he's going to go into 2 and 3? Could be possible.
Mine is a little remote, which I have learned from many
Did he go
books
back
that
to
sometimes
Mikasudo
words
yet?
say I love you.
No. Unless he did and I missed it. I don't think so. I was trying to play with a little bit of audio levels.
I think unless you've forgotten where it is, that's the play to me. But
Yeah. Did he find the
Two
water
isn't
tile,
bad,
guys?
'cause it's a
I was
short
in Discord. I think Culain found the water tile. Yeah, absolutely. Because he's so yeah, he waited until he got the medicine to come back to this town. That was the determining factor to get it. So we know it's jump, and now he has it. Four is the candle
Yeah.
bag? New Kasuto was the candle bag, I thought. Do I have that wrong, Link? I thought New Kasuto spell was candle bag.
Yeah, I don't think anybody actually dove into 4 yet.
No, because Culain went in there and after he placed the gem and went right out. But he's in 2. He's gonna go for it. He's back on the Western Continent and might as well.
It's not a bad play. We just so.
We know the result, but again, this is what I thought. This is probably what I would have done. And we knew I would have been wrong. Guma fight for JohnBloodyThumbs. I think you guys both thought it was in Palace 4 because I said it was in something else, and I have no credibility today for some reason. And he finds the cross. He's gonna get Guma over there on the side. Lot of debate whether this was a good play or not in the other race that was on tonight. But dead is dead. Placing a gem is placing a gem, and winning a race is winning a race. So whatever you can do, it's within the legal bounds of the race.
The edge of the screen, Guma. Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was a little quarrel between the two runners of different the two commentators of the different nations before.
I see. I don't mind that. I haven't really learned that strat. I use kind of just a more straightforward, safe strat. But I mean, it's nice because he's not throwing the flail at you when he's on screen.
Yes. But yeah, if Rebinek's not considered cheese, why is that considered cheese? That's a good question.
Or Dark Link for that matter.
Or Dark Link, yeah. Good questions. So he's going to try to find Helmet Head here. We have not seen the Helmet Head fight. Have we seen the block room?
I may not have been paying attention to all the Palace 2, but I don't recall seeing it.
No, because I think when John went in, he found the item, he left. This is really like the first exploration we're seeing of it. So, and there's a dead end. This is going to come back out. What's John looking for here? John might be looking for Maze Island to go into 4, I would think.
Yeah, Sam, he's a container short, so
Yeah.
if he had that other container, then the pursuit would be the way, but without it,
Yeah, he might find the container in 4, actually. You know, because there is still one more out there unaccounted for.
right.
The one he doesn't have is the one that's in Hammer Cave in Death Mountain. We're on the right path here for Culain, I think, unless he just backtracked. He up A's and he's going to leave, so maybe he's confused himself or he's found the block room and then exhausted all our other efforts there. So he's going to go back to the east. Where will he go? Quick Palace 4. John, you can see John's putting all his concentration into his fight right now. That is a serious look right there. Kills Carrick. See what he does. See if he places the gem and then comes right back in. Looks like he's going to do just that. Same thing Culain did. But Culain gave it a little bit of effort. Found a little bit of difficulty. I don't know if he gamed over, but he definitely died a few times and then came right back in. There he is. He's going to go right back in. I mean, it's down to New Kasuto. 7 magic containers, which we're going to find out what it is right now. Or Palace 4's item, which we're going to find what it is in a little bit as well. Here's the first one. New Kasuto, 7 magic containers. What will it be?
This will be
The
a big
heart
swing
container.
for the race.
Wow. Glove and 4.
So that gives John an advantage here.
Yes, if he's going to most certainly find it in a second. Culain going to kick himself because he was looking for it and then stopped looking for it. Culain did pick up. John did pick up.
And John doesn't actually even know for sure because he still hasn't checked the Hammer Cave.
No, still a situation where he can get frustrated and up A. He's probably in better situation with spells than... no, I can't imagine that Culain was didn't have all the spells he needed to have. The life, the shield at this point. Actually, he never even got shield. Nice little down stab there by that Stalfos. Okay, elevator room down here. John's gonna hope it goes left. And by left, I mean right, so he can get the item.
Yep, looking for that item room. Culain's gonna follow him into 4 here, so...
Yeah. He's gonna have to go a little bit here to catch up with John, though. And I'm not sure there were any alternate paths really on the way that didn't lead to one of those dead-end lava key rooms. There might be one more of them left, and John just found it, unless that's a repeat of one I saw before. I don't think it is. So basically, we found Carrick. I think we found all 3 of the dead ends. And then the next really right path John could take, it's got to lead him to the item, I believe. Takes a few hits there from the blue nut knuckle. Look at that room that Culain's in. I think that's the room he kind of decided he wasn't gonna go any further in, and that's when he got out the first time.
Yeah, and without downstab, that's kind of a tricky combo,
Yeah.
right? Stalfos, Iron Knuckle, Doom Knocker? Or is it Doom Rattler? I get those mixed up.
Doom Knocker. John takes Fairy to go left in that big jump room, because you have to take Fairy in that room if you go that way. He finds another path right, and this is going to put him on the right side. So it's interesting that he had that layout where he had a Fairy left to get there, and it's going to lead him to the item. Here it is. Fairy required. There's the glove. Reaction? Do we have a reaction? No reaction. Johnny, ice in his blood. Is that ice water in your veins? Ice water in your veins. That's what it's called.
Keeping us cool, that's for sure.
Yeah. Medicine. I got the medicine mark. Glove. Kid. Palaces. Medicine. Okay. I think we're good. So, no huge reaction shot from John, but he does have the glove. It is really only a minute and 18 in, an hour and 18 in. Maybe because it's 2 a.m. it feels like it's a little bit longer. So he's got all the tools he needs, and he's already placed 4 gems at an hour and 17. One of them being Palace 2, which he's in now. Glove required, because he's going to go this way.
He has his, in his layout, he has a no glove, no love quote, so
Yes.
he's probably feeling good about that find, although having come in here and left before, like, Culain's got to feel a little behind like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be an unfortunate situation for Culain if he doesn't recognize that room coming from the right to Fairy and go left. Because I played a lot of Zelda 2 Randomizer. I don't know if I found a single time where I've had to do that.
I think it's happened to me before once or twice, but
Yeah.
usually you don't. Usually you come through that room from the other direction,
Yeah.
or it's a dead-end key room.
And the glove was required to finish Palace 2, I believe. Unless he went a different path when I wasn't looking. Quick helmet head, right there. Attack level 5. Let's go place the gem, and it just has to barb a fight away from going to the Great Palace. Queued up Fairy, but does not cast it. He was, oh no, that's in 6, that room. Finds himself coming right back out to the exit. He did this in 5 as well, I believe. Takes the death. One life left. I was going to say, he's right by the room. Might as well just up A at that point. Get all your lives back. John's going to get the upstabs. He never got the kid at a medicine cave. That's that doesn't seem right. That's not him. That's Culain that did it. But you know, that is pretty weird to note, unless I missed it and Culain actually did get the kid at a medicine cave. My notes show that he never got the kid, therefore never got the shield spell. But he then started searching everything first for the glove instead of trying to find that cave. So did I miss that, or was that still an option that he never explored?
I didn't see it, but we'll probably find out pretty quick because we'll see if he goes to cash in.
Culain never did get the kid. Okay, so that was an option he never even looked like he thought to explore. He tried to he did everything else first. Process of elimination, he knows it's the kid, I guess. So he knows it can't be the glove. But really early on, he didn't know that until he got the medicine really late. Or at least got the trophy and magic container. What spell is the kid anyway? The kid is shield. But I was just talking in terms of not knowing what's in the medicine cave. Because at that point in time, he didn't know what was in Death Mountain when he was looking all over for the glove. And he didn't see any priority trying to find the cave. So he did do... Yeah, he did. I guess he did do Death Mountain early enough to recognize that. But I just think he... I don't know. I'd have to revisit that. It's definitely late.
Yeah, finding the item in the east, then maybe that narrowed it down.
Yeah.
With the spell list he had, he didn't need to bother.
Yeah. I mean, my timeline's a little screwed right now. We talked about playing multiple seeds, but watching multiple seeds in a day. The same thing applies.
Between watching and playing, what have you seen? Like 4 different seeds today?
I think 6.
5?
6?
6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know Thunder was in Saria, the mirror, and we knew Reflect was in Old Kasuto. So at that point in time, it might have been, you know, who cares if it was the medicine or the kid? It's inconsequential to me right now to go search for that cave. I have to find the glove.
Chad is asking about the fairy scroll trick,
Yeah.
the fairy feat. Basically, it's a consequence of the fairy movements having effectively infinite acceleration. So yeah, if you tap one frame at a time, there's a point at which you'll go scroll off the screen and the fairy will disappear, but the screen will still not transition. And then if you go the other way, the game is using your velocity basically to figure out which side of the screen or the overworld tile it should spit you out on. So if you go the wrong way once you've disappeared, then you'll appear on the wrong side of the tile.
And 7-8 Time was asking, would most players know to go left there in that room and ferry up? Well, most players approach it from left, and if they played vanilla, you know that's a jump. You normally cast jump and jump over it. There's the glove now. So logic would dictate that you know, but do you recognize it? Or do you explore, like how many options do you explore first before you recognize that, hey, wait a second, that's where I normally jump down, and this is not like an infinite loop kind of situation. Culain got there eventually, so that's good. Grab the glove.
And if I have fairy, I kind of like to fly up there just from the perspective of, hey, I would rather not take a fall until I've explored the alternatives. But
Yes.
it's very easy just not to even think about it.
Yeah, well, hey,
you know, you're not used to approaching.
no, and you're also dealing with the meta of go right to find the item. And there's a situation where you got to go left, so when you drop, you're going to probably have an option to go right.
Yep.
They actually would.
So John's going to fight the Rebenek to pass through here. There's a room that gets me in 6 that I almost always identify as a room that you can't, when you drop down, you can't go right anymore. And every time the path to Barbara is through it. And I wind up like full clearing the dungeon except for that branch. And I'm just like, what is wrong with me? It's just sometimes the brain doesn't work. I'm sure it happens to me a lot, but I'm sure it happens to other people sometimes as well. And then those who it doesn't happen to are finishing well ahead of me.
Yeah, there's a few rooms that I don't always recognize right away. Like the Palace 5 coming in from the left side, which one has the hidden wall and which one you blocked and you see a key?
Yeah. Yeah. So the trick with that is when there's more enemies in the room, it's the dead end. When there's one enemy in the room, it's the pass-through wall. But then there's the fake key room as well. That one gets me a lot too. Fake key room. And those, because the ones with the pass-through wall and the the dead end with that's the same size. When you enter, the tiles are like one more row above your head, and when you come into the fake key room, the tiles are like right there, just above you, so you can identify it that way, probably easier. John takes an intentional death so he can ferry over this, and both players are in 6. If we neglected to tell you that. John's going to dead end room. Okay. I'm sorry, Culain's going in the dead end room. He's coming back now. John falls down. He's going to go right. I like this area, and certainly do like it now. Barbara fight. John's going to take a death. I don't know if that was intentional, because he kind of did look to the ceiling when he did it, but now he's back on full magic. Certainly he could have done it with the magic he had there. Culain's going to fight
that was not intentional.
That was not intentional, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. He had plenty of magic to do what he wants to do. I mean, Barbara's not a magic-intensive fight. So John's going to take a game over there. It's going to put him back at start. Yeah, John's reaction was a little bit of a tilt the head up, look straight up into the sky, so I figured it wasn't intentional. And it certainly wasn't logical to be intentional. But he didn't really mean to jump into Barbara's flames there and then get knocked back into the pit.
Right, and I think that death to game over really makes that first fall into the lava hurt
Yes.
thing even more.
Now he's got to get back there. Culain's got to find Barbara.
Probably knowing where to go, he'll still end up being ahead here, but that's going to close the gap a little, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where the splits are now a little bit closer. If we were doing like a lap-by-lap analysis, NASCAR style. John lost the draft, and Culain is hooked up right now. You like that analogy? That was a pretty bad analogy, but it's what you're getting at 2:30 a.m.
This is the late after hours Angry Larry.
Yeah. I only know how to say the words Finland and Russia at this time of night. Item room for Culain, so he went a different way. John could probably pass him up here again, invalidate that game over and time loss by just knowing where to go. Magic container here? I think that's the yep, magic container.
I do feel like it's sort of that Argentina potato cam hour.
Yeah, potato cam hour. This is the hour where Dick.
It's that time of night.
Yeah, it's the hour where Dick Shake normally comes into the chat room in his pajamas, and his long pipe, corncob pipe. And he says Finland a couple times and then passes out and goes to bed.
Kind of talks with a drawl like an English professor.
What was that? I'm sorry.
He kind of talks with an English drawl like a professor.
Yeah.
With the pipe and everything around
Yeah.
the fireplace.
He definitely has one of those like a boss, like a sir kind of things going on with him at night, where he's curls the mustache up a little bit, puts on his monocle. Pajamas. Let's see. John probably doesn't have many rooms to go. Drop in this room and then land on the floor.
So are they right next to each other? Is this like a
I believe they are. They are virtual spooning. Yeah,
spoon situation?
it's actually a spoon situation.
With that death, it was very much.
Culain fine. Like that's interesting. If they were in the same room, Culain found a quicker path to Barba, but John's taking the path he knows to get to Barba. That just winds up being a little bit longer. That's very interesting right there.
Wait, but he fell there. Was that a mistake? Because Barba's one screen to the right.
Right, but that's the way Culain found him. This is the way John originally found him. Where he went this way, he drops down, he goes onto the ceiling, he walks right. Yeah. So John passed up the room to fall down, to then come 4 screens later to wind up
To
on
come in
the
from
roof.
the
Yeah, of the same
He
room.
doesn't recognize that that's the same room.
Yeah,
Wow. That is hilarious. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's
And that goes to what I was saying.
A way for the lead to change hands right there. Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before about that fairy room in 4. You know, can you recognize that room going from the other way? You've certainly taken it plenty of times coming from the left. But what about coming from the right? And, you know, you can get confused. It happens. He almost gets knocked into the lava again. Culain does finish 6 here. Places his gem. He still has 2 and 3 to go. It probably won't take him long to do either. I think Rebenek was pretty easy. John was able to do it without the glove in quick order. Hopefully Culain knows where to go because he remembers where he was glove blocked, because he's explored that a lot of that palace. But John's on his way to the Great Palace now. So it's
and chat corrected me. I was thinking that was it for Culain, but he actually does have other palaces to go.
yeah, he has 2 and 3. He spent quite a bit of time in 2 looking for the item. But he gets right back to the block room here really quick. I think it's about 3 or 4 rooms from here to Helmet Head. And he's at attack 7, so that fight's not going to take long at all. But John has the lead into Great Palace, and there's only so much you can do to get lost in Great Palace. And if you have the time to get lost and have the knowledge of where things are and where things aren't, you still have a significant advantage than if you happen to game over as your opponent comes from 2 gems behind into Great Palace. You have all that knowledge of where not to go, and you probably have taken the meta of go right wherever you could. So your opponent, may still just go right, and you know better at that point. So Culain's gonna grind. He's gonna get that 50 XP right now. It's down to 48, 46.
That could go either way going into Great Palace, right? You get a lot of blue chicken knights all up and down the place, and having that attack 8 could really, tip things your way. But it's so hard to say.
Having the life 4 could work in the opposite way. He might take attack 8's experience and just distribute it. Actually, no, he's got two more. He's got another gem after this, so he might take attack 8. Yeah. John's on the path to Palace 4. He's going to take the death there. Get his MP back. No fairy feet. Just power through it. Bo Jackson Tecmo style. Take 1 full quarter of time off the clock. Running around on the field because no one can tackle you. And this should be the last encounter. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And he misses. So he doesn't have the magic to do it. He's going to do an encounter skip here and try to... He doesn't have spell. Alright, lizard, bat. Should be alright. He does have the cross. I worried about an invisible Moa there for a little bit. But we are now in the Great Palace simultaneously as Helmet Head is downed on Culain's side. What do you guys think? Trolley Great Palace or go right Thunderbird first room Great Palace? We have an option. First floor. Chicken easily handled.
I guess I think this will lean on the easy side, but there's plenty of time to prove me wrong.
Well, we have 3 options for John. He's going to take one of the 3. There's an up option and there's a left option. There's the dead end, so that takes away one of the options. He'll probably go up here in this elevator and see what's in this room. It's a right. He'll take it. Come out the other side. Now, with that unexplored option to the left, I say this a lot. That's a lot. That could be a lot of rooms on that side. This could be Thunderbird. It is not, but it is an option to go right or go down. He's well prepared for the Buzz Thundered. He's up stabbing wherever he can. He'll go right first. This is the this is why I like to call it Jackamus room, because that's the room where Jack went either right or down after taking a game over and going the other way and saying screw that blue Fokker, and then wound up just finding Dark Link.
Yeah, I think I saw that race.
Yeah, he's going to pass the fairy room, not go right, but he's going to go right here. So that is now 3 unexplored paths and 1 dead end. I'm sorry about that, DH. If it's any consolation, I'm going to bring up the Enchantress of Numbers room, and then somebody else is going to get a hashtag diggered in a bit. Dead end room, right there, for John. He's going to walk it, though. Make sure. The only difference there was DH, you had health, and Jack didn't. He had a little lower level. And took that game over, and it was for hashtag diggered. I love that. All right, John's gonna up A there. Interesting, because he could have went left 1 room and then up and left again, but he's gonna take this left instead. Rebenek fight. So slowly, not slowly, quickly, Culain is catching up here. Got a nice lava room. Got to be careful of the king bots. I think this room goes up. And there is the gem. There is the 6th gem. So, can he get there quickly? Quickly enough.
Culain has a chance to get into Great Palace. So it's still a race that's still on.
Yeah. And John went left from start here. He explored a little bit to the right, but if Culain goes right from start, and then takes one of those other paths, either left or down from that, down in the Jackamus room, or left in the where the fairy is, across the lava, it could work. People like to see this room, this little drop down room there.
And actually, if this is right, then this could be an upstab for him.
No, this is one of the seldom seen rooms in the randomizer when palaces are dungeons rooms are taken out. This is a fairy room from the right side that goes up. And he loops. So there's a loop. So there's the one option where he didn't take the down in the Jackamus room. He does up A there. He kept going. See, now here's the thing. He up A'd there. But there's only one more path for him to take, and that was to continue through that room, go down to the fairy room, and go left over the lava. Every single thing else he could do, he's done. Because of that loop.
Yeah, I think he lost track there.
Yeah, the loop can kind of throw you there. He probably thought he was back out in the first area he up A'd in, but he had to keep going a little bit more. It'd be up here, it'd be right to, and then it'd be down to the fairy room. Meanwhile, Culain is trying to get there. Maybe not know where it is. I haven't seen the path he's taken. So here's that room he did up A in. Gonna go down. Full heal is a good good thing. I don't know if Culain. Oh, okay, Culain isn't on the path now, so he's gonna go right here. Going down will bring him into the fairy room, and no other path for him to take but then to go left over the lava pits.
Yeah, he realized where the loop was now.
Yeah. So he stops. He's going to get the fire ready. Throw him. Get rid of these ropes. Hope the ropes don't jump over him. So I played Master Seed, and there were like 3 blue Fockers in that room, and I hated it. Gonna go down the elevator here. Culain has made his way to the Great Palace. We'll see which area he takes. Unfortunately, it's very linear at this point for JohnBloodyThumbs. Culain's gonna have to hope that it opens up in a big way right now. In a multiple path, which one do I drop down kind of situation. I don't know if we've seen any rooms that are open above it though, so far. John's gonna go up here instead of going underneath the rope and dodge these fireballs. Oh, he's now gonna go down. Culain went... Where did he go? He went left? No, he went right and then up. Okay. So I guess he checked left. Thunderbird fight.
So that keeps John in the lead.
Yes, he has only 1 bar of health right now. Let's see what situation he does here. Culain does in the Jackamus room. He is going the right way. He is going right. Problem is he has to go left in that fairy room, and he might actually go to the dead end and do the same thing John did. Up A, take the other path, loop right back around, and then find out he has no other option. Thunderbird's health is not even down. John is, we point this out. John's attack 5. And Culain is attack 7. So, Jackamus says 22 hit fight right now at attack 5. Culain takes the fairy. He doesn't have upstab, does he? He does not have upstab. Do we see he had to go upstab? Or is that was in the loop, that upstab room?
That was in the loop, so that's not actually required.
Okay. But it might be a situation where he does go through that loop from that direction. Oh, he has to go left there. He's going to go down, he's going to go to the right, and he's going to get into a dead-end room. Take 2 on the T-Bird fight for John.
He's been doing pretty well there, but ran out of health.
Yeah. Dead end room here for Culain. One thing he could do is he could damage boost over this. I think you told me that you can do that, or Enchantress of Numbers I think told me you can do that. And but that would just put him on the path to loop anyway. So.
You can downstab boost, but it does require the horse heads.
Oh yes, okay. John's working the pendulum, getting in 2 stabs, 1 to 2 stabs in when he can. Avoid the fireballs.
Actually, that route is a little faster in the vanilla version, even the downstab boost route.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a lot of people have practiced it and are consistent. So even a lot of the top runners take the normal route.
So fortunate for Culain, he is on the right path here. He is not going to go and try to explore a different path, and this is the virtue of not up and A-ing where he was. He just backtracked a couple of rooms and took the next open path where John up A'd and went all the way back to the beginning fork in the road. John game overs. Gets wamboozled there by Thunderbird. How many rooms would it be? It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. About 8 rooms back to get to Thunderbird. Culain has to take a death, so he gets the his magic back. What's his magic?
Culain in the lead though for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, first time in a very long time. I think first time since we were keeping who's in lead, who's not in lead. And attack 7, magic 7, so he's able to pull off cast fire. He's able to pull off did he do shield reflect thunder, or did he just do thunder and shield? Oh, he did jump. Jump, reflect, shield, thunder, and fire. He did. And you can see very few hits compared to what John was doing, and look at the health of Thunderbird. Thunderbird down on Culain's side. Now, there were quite a few rooms before Thunderbird, but they were all found. There's going to be a few rooms more, so this is not going to be a Dark Link next room situation. I think we're going to have another... That's right, no shield, because he doesn't have shield. The tunic color threw me off, the random tunic color. So
yeah, purple versus red.
It's going to go down here. And, fork in the road. He's going to take right. Now, this could be Dark Link because there's rooms to the left. But it's a dead end, so he's going to have to go left. No big deal. Find one of those rooms where he walks through it with an open ceiling and goes up. Of note, we haven't seen... Oh, Enchantress of Numbers room. Did we go left or did we go down? We go down. And we're going to go right. To the dead end. We've arrived... Oh, no, we haven't. This is not the dead end room. My bad. This is when we drop down. So we're going to drop down again. And we're going to go, and this is going to be where the jar of the chicken is. Nice magic refill there. Grab some life. Love to see this room, because in the back of my mind, Dark Link is in the next room. And we have another drop room. There were 2 ways to go left, though, that were not explored. And look what we have here. He is back behind Thunderbird. While John is at Thunderbird.
Yeah, and with that loop, the lead changes back.
Yeah, John's got to get through Thunderbird, though, for that to happen. And John's got to not take the same path, the same drops as well. Culain recognizes it, though. He gets right back on the horse. Not that far from the Thunderbird. Through this room, down an elevator to the right, and he'll try it again. There were 2, like I said, 2 paths that he didn't take. One was in the Enchantress of Numbers room, don't drop, go left there, and the one was where he fell after that room, go left there instead of go right.
Yeah, the excitement in this race is just an exponential function. The later we get into this race, the closer it gets.
Yeah. This is one of those classic races right now. Instant classics, as ESPN used to call them.
And both of them got to be thinking the other one's close. At this point, with some of the game overs both of them have had.
Hour and 50 minutes on the clock, and he had all that trouble finding the glove. You got to think the dot done is coming any second now from your opponent.
And Culain passes up John during his attack 5 Thunderbird fight.
Yeah. So here's the left he took because he found the dead end room in the right, and this is going to be the Enchantress of Numbers room. Probably would go left here, but there's also another option to go left if he drops. He is going to go left. Oops, wrong mark. It's link up. So now he knows he's going to drop and go left there. So that closes up one of the options, and now he's back on a linear path. He's not going down. Well, the only thing he can do is he's going to check right here and realize it's a dead end and then go back left. He has to drop down that room. There's nothing else.
Some sick dodges on John.
Yeah. Is he one hit away at this point from dying? Yeah, he is. So he's going to go back up, Culain. He's going to go left, and he's going to realize that, nope, that's not where I have to go. Where do I have to go? Well, I do have to drop down. He might not recognize that room he dropped into as a room you can go left into, but he certainly has to realize that now. And there he goes, through the EON room. And he's going right again? No, he's going to go left. Here we go. Go back to pick up the jar because you earned it. And here we go. We have a choice, left or up. We take up. And now we have left here. One of my least favorite rooms, but I think this is the better variety. This is not the better variety. Definitely not. Fairy, always on call in that room. And we have a situation where we can go down. So we'll go down.
These are the rooms to me that these tournament flags that we've been playing.
Yeah.
I feel like those rooms are actually really nice because if you turn on that swap small and large enemies, you start getting the blue bird knights and stuff in there, along with stuff flying through the rooms, and then it really gets crazy.
Yeah, the Master Seed is like that. The tournament, yeah, the tournaments exclude that, thankfully. Dark Link. Dark Link for Culain here. Who would have thought it 40 minutes ago? Those extra levels and such.
Well, right, and when he was finishing too, I was thinking, hey, you know, having a couple of levels, that could be a thing in Great Palace. And,
Yeah,
and here
absolutely.
we are, John, with the game overs and so much extra time and those fights. This is kind of what's done it.
And there's your winner, Culain. 152.58 IRC SRL time.
So congrats to Culain. That was a really good race, really tight race.
Why am I looking at school? I don't even find
The
out.
lead changes were few and far between, but it definitely tightened up late.
Yeah.
It turned out to be just a close call. Close shave right at the end, down to leveling strats and battle tactics in Great Palace. It was just close fun, a great race all around.
Yeah. And John is, I don't know what John's doing here. He's calling it, he just quit from the race and he's calling it BS, so I don't know what's on his mind. He's not happy.
The T-Bird fight got to him, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, he was having trouble seeing the fire in the fight, in the Thunderbird fight, he says.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these palace tiles, and this wasn't even the worst one. You get the palace 2 tiles.
Yeah.
Man.
I
2
think
and
part of it's
4 tile set.
I think part of it's with the game though too, just the way those sprites are and how they flicker and how when there's so many on the screen, they kind of get translucent. But we are John is in the chat right now. We are waiting for Culain to come in as well.
That's the thing with these palace tiles, and this wasn't even the worst one. You get the palace 2 tile.
Yeah. I
2
think
and
part of it's
4 tile set.
I think part of it's with the game though too, just the way. Hey John, are you there?
And how they flicker and how when there's so many on the screen.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? Frustrating PAL 7 there for you, huh?
Man, 100% tilt. 100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the fireballs from Thunderbird. Oh god.
Yeah, that was definitely a problem. I saw you having a little bit of issue there with them. Leading up to that, though, what was your thought process with the glove? Hey, John, are you there?
I was trying to find it the whole game.
What's going on, man? I'm actually getting a loop. Hearing our audio through your audio, so. There for you, huh?
Do you have the stream open or something?
No, I think it was coming through somebody else's speakers. But all right. So talk about the glove for a second. What was your thought process on getting the glove, and how do you feel like you handled that part of the race?
Well, I feel like I took some time getting that as well. I thought it was in 5, so I spent a lot of time searching through 5 because it's usually in 5, and it just happened to be in 4 this time. So I searched pretty much everywhere else.
Yeah, once you did find it, I mean, you were doing things here and there. You slammed through 3. You were glove blocked in 2, but you went in 3 and you got through that pretty well. Then you found the glove, and you kind of just streamlined into finding all the things. And it was good recognition of that room to ferry up in Palace 4 as well. But yeah, ultimately you had a problem seeing the fireballs.
Yeah, that's what got me.
Yeah, unfortunate.
If I had like another magic level or something, then maybe I could have cast a reflect. That might have helped, but I should have been able to take down Thunderbird, no problem. I just couldn't see the fireballs with that background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's attack 5 Thunderbird. It takes quite a few hits, and even you had one attempt there where you were within a few hits, I think, and you had some really sick dodges on your last hit, and it just didn't end up panning out. But it's tough with that attack 5.
No, I can usually take out the Thunderbird, no problem with attack 5. I mean, my last race I was attack 5, and I killed him my first try.
Right, I actually think I saw that part of that from the last race or something too. So I knew coming in, it seemed like, oh, attack 5, I've seen him do this before, and then it kept not panning out.
Yeah, it's the background, man. Those backgrounds suck so bad. You can't see those fireballs. Dick Jake really should change that.
Well, to me, the one from the tile set from 2 and 4, the palette from 2 and 4 is actually a little worse.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hey, Culain, one second. We're
hi guys, how are you?
Doing
I
good.
see that was a really close race. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good game, man.
Were you stuck finding the glove as well?
It was one of the last things I found, but I wasn't really stuck too bad on it.
I went through Palace 4 and I didn't take the glove because I didn't think it'd be in there because I had about 5 other places I could check for it, and I just kind of left without it.
Yeah, no, my big thing that I got stuck was really trying to find Farrier Jump. I spent a lot of time trying to find the spell to get down step.
Yeah, I went over to the East Continent without the down stab because I was just hoping to get some quick levels, and I ended up finding some things with the jump boots like the Maze Island and found a few things there. And Spout Town.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I didn't get any of the items out of Spout Town though.
So, Culain, what was your thought process when you were in 4 and you came out. You just alluded to it a little bit. Was it just the fact that you tried to get into 4, you ran into a little trouble with some tough rooms, and you said, you know what, I just have other options, and you left?
Yeah, all I had was Thunder, and I could only cast it once before I was getting killed by the Blue Knight. So, and I didn't have the downstab at that point, so it was tough fighting them. So I figured I would just come back, worst case scenario.
Do you hold off getting downstab until you find the medicine Water of Life? Because you had Fairy early, or earlier than John did, but you took downstab way late in the race.
I just got caught up on the East Continent right after I had the tools to go get downstab, and I just kind of wanted to keep exploring because I thought I was making some progress.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you jumped into 5 and got the item and got a little bit of completion there as well. Anything really trip you up? Talk about the Great Palace in there. I saw you. One of the differences in Great Palace, besides the fireball stuff, was the way you both handled Great Palace. You both went the same way. You both found the same end. John, you up aid, and you went left from start, and you found that big loop around. While Culain, you walked back out, and you went through the fire pit room with
I got caught in that loop for a bit when you fall down, and you can fall down all the way before the Thunderbird fight. That was kind of mean.
Yeah, it was nice that you recognized that right away, though, instead of trying to explore the areas, because I know it can be confusing sometimes to determine.
I don't draw a map or anything. I just kind of keep track in my head how many times I've made like turns or junctions available to me, and I just go. And I always follow the same path when I'm going through a palace, so I know which ways I haven't gone yet, just by order of elimination.
Did you, in Palace 4, did you have a little bit of trouble recognizing that one room coming from the right? The room you normally take the super jump off of, off the...
In the race before this one, I ended up having to go through that room, and I just kind of got mixed up with the previous race. I thought I already did that room, so I had to come back with the fairy spell. And it was pretty embarrassing. Yeah,
that's, we don't want to talk about your previous tournament race, because we have some hard feelings about that one still.
Oh, I had some good fun.
I know you did. But all in all, it was an exciting race. It was very close, and it just came down to attack levels and
I just kill everything along the way that I go, and it usually works out pretty well. I always get 7-7-7.
Yeah, that was definitely the limit break for you, the Cloud Strife limit break, and a quick work with Thunderbird at those levels, and survivability to be able to navigate around the Great Palace. Link, you have anything for him?
I guess the other one on the topic of recognizing rooms, John, one of the ones I saw was in 6. There's the room with the statue and a couple pits, and you had gotten to a point where you had found Barba and game over, and then when you came back through, Culain actually went through and passed you up in that room because you dropped down and went through a couple other rooms and then dropped onto the top of that same room, and Stealing walked to the right. We could have just walked across, and we said, hey, it must not have even looked like the same room.
Oh my god! Wow.
When I went through P6, I didn't intend to get the item in. I thought that was just the way to the boss. I stopped on the way to the boss thinking I was in the night room, and I turned back myself. Didn't need that item in there.
Yeah, that item, you did pick it up. It was the magic container.
Yeah, I turned back initially because I thought I had already ran to the night, but there he goes.
Yeah. I ended up spending like 25 or so minutes in the Great Palace. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, it's unfortunate part of the randomizer, I guess, with the fireballs and the way the attack levels play. I've seen you do it with attack 5, so it's not even a question about that.
No problem.
Yeah, I've seen it today, in fact. But unfortunately for you, John, you're on the couch with me. We'll play in many races together every night and have fun, and you'll whip me and other people in those races.
That's all right. This wasn't meant to be. I guess I get to start practicing for the other tournament, the All Keys coming up.
Yeah, best of luck in that. And Culain, you are going to move on to face the winner of the Shiner CCC, Pierpont Lempkin. battle that is currently not scheduled, but it just kind of happened today. That race. So they have a week
Yeah,
to
look
do it.
forward to it.
What's that?
I look forward to it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
absolutely.
good-
And best of luck to you both in your future endeavors, and in tournaments. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Good game,
no
guys.
problem.
I gave you a
Yeah,
rusty
yeah.
Thunderbird there at the end, so I hope you enjoyed the fireworks fighting him.
Always happy to do it, guys. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Great race.